One of the biggest conversations, one of the biggest arguments this year is, did Battlefield 6 kill Call of Duty? And I think personally, if anything, Battlefield 6 saved Call of Duty. What just happened, we're on stream here, but what just happened is we just watched all of the end game stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty fire. But before all of that happened, I said we needed to watch a video today, and that is this one here from I Am Dewan. I believe we've watched him before here on the channel, but he has a video called How Battlefield 6 Beat Call of Duty, which is an interesting title to begin with. But I think there also needs to be another video on how Arc Raiders killed Battlefield 6, because it has been 3 days in a row now that Arc Raiders is well above the player count of Battlefield 6, which is shocking to me. But yeah, I'm curious to hear how what he has to say here, and what I disagree with as well, because I believe last time we watched one of his videos, we pretty strongly disagreed, but we will see. Maybe he's got some good points. Maybe he's got some
Call of Duty released new games the same year. One is loved, one is hated. Well, back in 2016, that's
well, 2016, the same thing happened.
Exactly what happened. The Infinite Warfare trailer dropped, and quickly it became the most hated game ever. On the other hand, you had Battlefield 1. Players loved this game, and it turned out to be arguably the greatest Battlefield game ever. Well, what if I told you this? History is repeating itself.
I don't think it is, though, because, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. What game came out? Wait, Battlefield 1 release date. October 21st. November 4th. So they were actually even closer together. So it is kind of history repeating itself. But if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Infinite Warfare still outsold Battlefield 1. I could be wrong.
2025, the Black Ops 7 trailer drops, and COD players hate it so much, they claim it's a trailer for COD's biggest rival, Battlefield 6. But how is this possible? How did Battlefield 6 beat Call of Duty before Black Ops 7 even released? And ultimately...
So this is the thing, is I don't think they did. I think what he is saying is actually wrong. I think what actually happened is Battlefield 6 came out, and it came out in an early enough amount of time that Treyarch and Activision were forced to be like, boys, let's lock in, because now we have something to compete against. And generally speaking, if you take a competitor and make them compete, whatever comes after is going to be that much better.
Should you quit COD for Battlefield 6? In order to answer these questions, first we have to break down the top 3 reasons COD lost our trust. Like and subscribe for the medics. Number 1, goofy skins. For too long now, Call of Duty has become another version of Fortnite.
Yep.
What do I mean by that? Well, gee, I don't know. Kindly remove your head from your ass and you'll see. From the Ninja Turtles, to Beavis and Butthead, to American Dad, Black Ops 6 was finally the breaking point. After all these years, holy sh**, but hey, better late than never. Imagine telling yourself 10 years ago this. You'd be playing COD multiplayer as Frank Woods and playing against Nicki Minaj. It's insanity. The COD community is tired of seeing this stupid ass...
You're wrong. That's not the insanity. The insanity is that the Nicki Minaj was one of the more down-to-earth skins in recent years.
Skins while playing allegedly a military shooter. And it's the biggest reason why COD players love that skins won't be carrying forward the Black Ops 7. Number 2, lightning fast Omni movement. But before we talk about that, remember when jetpacks were a thing?
Yes.
Going back to Infinite Warfare, why do you think the community gave up on it before it even came out? The jetpack...
No, you're wrong. I guarantee you're wrong right now. The reason why the community gave up on jetpacks is because Black Ops 3 did it perfectly, and Infinite Warfare tried to do the same thing, and they didn't do it as well. And the second that happens, it all goes to crap. Right? For example, if this version of Omni movement in Black Ops 7... And it was 3 in a row. Yeah, that's also true. Like if they did 1 and then we waited a couple years, it would have been better. You're 100% right, Ermac. But if this version of Omni movement that's coming out now is worse than the one that was out before, people will hate it.
Fatigue was real. After 3 advanced movement era CODs in a row, it was time for change. And 1 year later, you bet your ass Call of Duty returned to boots on ground in World War II. Fast forward to today, with Black Ops 7, COD players are experiencing the same fatigue, but with lightning fast Omni movement. Let's focus on that lightning fast part first though. Back on Modern Warfare 2 2022, Infinity Ward slowed the movement way down, which much of the community hated. As a result,
you guys were talking smack about this guy, but he's actually doing a pretty decent breakdown so far.
Sledgehammer Games sped it back up in Modern Warfare 3 2023. Did the developers listen to the community? Sure. but it created a whole other problem. Not only was MW3's movement faster than MW2's, it was faster than ever before. As it became the norm for players to run, jump, and slide around like Dash from The Incredibles, multiplayer became unplayable. And Treyarch not only doubled down on fast movement speeds in Black Ops 6, they also introduced Omni movement. So not only were COD
See, I don't necessarily disagree with this,
players running,
but I also don't agree with it.
jumping, and sliding around like Dash from The Incredibles, but they were now hysterically moving in every single direction like Taz from the Looney Tunes. I'm giving them new ideas for bundles, aren't I? I should probably shut the hell up. And Treyarch again not only doubled down on fast movement speeds and Omni movement in Black Ops 7, they made movement even faster. And now you can bounce
That's
off
not
walls
true.
like a dweeb. It's time to slow it down.
Okay, I disagree with this part.
I hate this game. And finally, we have number 3, the elephant in the room, skill-based matchmaking. Ever since Modern Warfare 2019...
the 3 reasons, okay, this is why he's wrong, okay? The 3 reasons that he just laid out there that how Battlefield 6 killed Call of Duty: goofy skins, movement speed, and what was this? Skill-based matchmaking. They fixed skill-based matchmaking, they slowed down the movement speed, and they removed the skins.
Call of Duty has been poisoned by SBMM. It's this horrible matchmaking system which is designed to make every match as equally balanced as possible between each team. In other words, you're gonna have garbage teammates and play against CDL Pro wannabes. The idea is to keep everyone to as close to a 1 KD and a 1 win-loss ratio as possible. And as COD players continue to experience this throughout the Warzone era, more and more players quit the franchise for good. And here we are with Black Ops 7, where pre-orders are lower than ever and... wait, this doesn't seem right. Call of Duty removed SBMM in BO7? Does that mean Call of Duty is saved? Is Activision finally listening to the community? Totally.
Good change in music.
Absolutely not, you dumb. Here's what really happened. There's this other game that came out. A game that Call of Duty totally didn't shit their pants over. It's called Battlefield 6. BO7 better, no way.
I see that too.
Tell that dude to go f himself. I think he's just used to sliding his all over the ground, wall jumping.
Go play the child's game. From a record-breaking 7 million opening sales, to record-breaking player counts during the beta, to record-breaking player counts on launch.
See, here's the thing, is the record-breaking player counts, but only on Steam. So, like, honestly, what Call of Duty, if I was Call of Duty, if I was the marketing guy at Call of Duty, the game needs to release, that first weekend, release your concurrent player count numbers. Like, just do it. Because Arc Raiders just bragged about their 700,000 concurrent players. I bet you Call of Duty beats that.
Call of Duty never stood a chance against Battlefield 6. Think about this. How many players did the Battlefield 6 beta have at its peak on Steam alone? Over 520,000 concurrent players. Call of Duty's all-time peak? Not even 500,000.
Yes, because the predominant amount of, like, this is, what is it? 5% of the Call of Duty player base? 5%? Is that, am I right? And it's 56% of Battlefield
Players going back to November 20th, 2022. But it gets worse. When Call of Duty hit its peak, player counts counted across 2 separate games combined. Modern Warfare 2 2022, which had released not even a month prior, and our old friend Warzone 2.0, which caused hundreds of thousands of players to try out that sorry-ass mode. If you remember, COD was hyping up this new COD HQ as the new era of the franchise, but in reality, they put lipstick on the same old pig and called it 2.0, which they also eventually revoked because it was an utter failure. So even when Call of Duty had
even that point alone is stupid. They said they'd put lipstick on the same pig, but at the same time it sucks, so they reverted it. That means it's not the same pig. What it means is they got a new pig, and the new pig was too fat. Actually, no, fat pigs are good. New pig was too skinny and moved too slow and had too much weapon visual recoil and bad backpacks. This analogy is breaking, but I think you know what I mean.
baited more players than ever, they still got beat by the Battlefield 6 beta. To make matters worse, Battlefield 6 officially launched, and Call of Duty's biggest nightmare officially came true. How does this sound? Over 747,000 peak players on launch. Among FPS games, it is only below the giants like PUBG and CS2, and beating out games...
PUBG had a 3.2 million all-time peak. Well done.
like Call of Duty and Apex Legends. And Battlefield's new Battle Royale mode, RedSec, isn't doing Warzone any favors either. In other words,
yeah, RedSec's better
Call of
than
Duty is
Warzone in my
cooked.
opinion.
But in order to understand why Battlefield 6 is such a success, I want to talk about the genius marketing first. It was a genius move.
It's Call of Duty marketing. It's literally the guy that marketed the Call of Duty games marketing Battlefield in the same way that Call of Duty is marketed.
To market the game as more traditionally military grounded. After witnessing Call of Duty lose its identity with skins like Beavis and Butthead, EA and the Battlefield developers saw that COD players were tired of the trendy Fortnite influence, so they saw the opportunity and ran with it. So if you have common sense, what do? You market and design your game based on what the market is desperately lacking. A good and fun military FPS game that stays true to its theme, something Call of Duty built its formerly legendary reputation on. As a result, half of the player base seems to have abandoned COD for Battlefield 6. Can you blame them? But here was my favorite part of the Battlefield 6 marketing. Prior to its full release, the Battlefield team released
This is probably the best part, like, let's be honest.
the live-action trailer. But it wasn't just any live-action trailer. This trailer included 4 celebrities, clearly a dig at Call of Duty for their ridiculous collabs over the years. But they quickly get killed off as the trailer transitions
This
to
is a
real
wicked
Battlefield
trailer, like, we
soldiers
gotta give
during
this, though.
wartime. So what's the reason I love this trailer? It's a complete slap in the face to Call of Duty. Battlefield Studios was basically saying, we know you guys are tired of this garbage, so here's the traditional military action you really want. Buy our game. And that in itself to me is such a badass way to market your game. And you bet your ass I bought the Phantom Edition after seeing that one, like, you instantly gained my respect. Meanwhile, Call of Duty is saying, so you don't want this SpongeBob collab we got cooking up? And how about we take a moment to appreciate the Battlefield developers? As FPS fans, this is the transparency we've been wanting all along from the COD developers. But the COD developers have been so out of touch with the community for so long that everyone is turning their backs on them, except for the COD sucker loyalists. Oh yeah? Well, just admit that you're too old to keep up with us movement guys and the greatest COD ever, Black Ops 7. Have fun falling asleep on Battlefield 6, boomer. If this is you, to each their
It's not a bad lisp. We gotta give it to him. It's not a bad lisp.
own, but come on. You could argue Activision has the final say, so it's not totally the developer's fault.
No, to be quite honest with you, he's taken an L on this one. Treyarch's been doing everything right, even to the point where I truly believe it was Treyarch that got them to remove skill-based matchmaking. I truly believe, just based off of like interactions and things people were saying, is that yeah.
Which isn't totally wrong. But we're talking about EA on the other side. So the Battlefield devs, DICE, they do not have it much better, let me tell you. But listen to some of these quotes from the Battlefield devs. It has to be grounded. That is what Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 was. It was all soldiers, on the ground. It's going to be like this. I don't think it needs Nicki Minaj. Let's keep it real. Keep it grounded. I don't know about you guys, but hearing this as a COD fan makes me want to run through a wall. A military game that is grounded with all soldiers and no goofy skins, this is the best.
So here's what's interesting though, is right, like if we're taking these numbers here, the Steam numbers, let's refresh them since we started. They're sitting at 306,000 right now, which is unreal numbers, right? But if we take this and we go the past month, right? So they started off 656, it drops down to peaking about 550, which is amazing. But then the next weekend happens, the next Sunday. Well, where's the next Sunday? So after this Sunday, this is the Sunday after the launch of RedSec. The Sunday after this would be the 9th. So down over 100,000 people. I'm curious to see what happens next Sunday with Call of Duty being out, with Arc Raiders killing it. I've seen posts and videos saying people are getting bored of Battlefield 6. I'm not personally, because I've stopped playing it for a little while and have been playing Arc Raiders. And now I want to go back and play more Battlefield and play more RedSec. But then Call of Duty's coming out, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It's a wet dream ever. And while many players were upset about colorful skins, the developers listened to the community and fixed it. As you can see in the Battle Pass in-store bundles, all the skins are now grounded. How easy was that? The next quote is an official response from the developers regarding
This is
the
all
movement
stuff from
controversy
before
during the
launch,
beta.
though.
Listen to this. Movement mechanics have been adjusted to create a more balanced and traditional Battlefield experience. Momentum, especially horizontal speed, carried from a slide into a jump has been reduced. There is now a greater penalty for consecutive jumps, which lowers jump height when
They did this in Call of Duty too.
jumps are spammed. Firing while jumping or sliding will result in increase in accuracy.
Call of Duty
These
doesn't do
changes are
that,
designed
though.
to make sliding and
Well, they
jumping
kinda
more
do,
situational,
but not
so they are
really.
no longer ideal options for engaging in gunfights, and will contribute to a
Yes.
gameplay pace that will
This is the W opinion. I'm happy people are not forced to play one game. It's not more games doesn't mean Battlefield is bad or bleeding. No, You are completely right. You're completely right. And that's exactly what I was saying when I said I haven't played Battlefield in a while. So that means I want to go back and play some more RedSec. But I want to finish off Arc Raiders, and then I want to play Call of Duty. And guess what? When there's the reset to Arc Raiders, I'm going to go back to Arc Raiders. It's awesome to have that.
Towards skillful movement without becoming too fast or unpredictable. Again, wow. Nerfing bunny hopping and nut dragging, slowing down the movement speed to a more traditional pace. Somebody pinch me, or hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. Thanks. But do you see what I mean? The transparency and connection between the Battlefield dev.
Good. So here's where the opinions are dumb, right? It's when Battlefield comes out and it plays a certain way. It plays a little bit slower. It plays more tactically, things along those lines. And Call of Duty players come in and go, oh, well, I want it to be a little faster. I want this. I want that to change. The Battlefield community sits there and goes, shut up, go play Call of Duty. When you hear someone talking like this, the response should be, shut up and go play Battlefield, right? But the Call of Duty community has been beaten so bad and repeatedly over the last years that we just don't have that type of strength to do that.
And the COD devs is like night and day. It's like Black Ops 2 and Vanguard. It's not even close. And I don't care what the devs do about Black Ops 7. They've been ignoring us for so long, but now they want to act like they're listening? Now that Battlefield 6 beat them? No, they're not getting away with that. But let's expand on Battlefield 6 staying true to the theme of the game and why it's so important.
So yeah, I guess that's another good point, is that the console numbers, Call of Duty beat this week Battlefield on, this is in America. It lost in the UK, just to be clear, just to be transparent. I believe Battlefield was number 1 in the UK. You'd have to look it up. But in the US, Call of Duty is one higher. And then Fortnite number 1 because of The Simpsons.
Let me ask you something. Do you want to see some goofy ass skin while playing a military shooter, or do you want to see a bunch of badass soldiers? It's that simple, but it's amazing how something so simple can make such a drastic difference in the game's experience. There's something about seeing Coach Buzzcut from Beavis and Butthead slide cancel around the entire map that makes me want to use my monitor as a punching bag. It's almost misleading to place a soldier on the cover as if that's what the game's gonna look like. Then you load it up, in reality, it's another version of Fortnite. But in Battlefield 6, the developers are keeping it simple. You want a military shooter in a war-torn environment? Okay, we'll give you actual soldiers who fit the theme to play as. And this plays into the importance of immersion. When it comes to FPS games, I honestly cannot remember the last time I was truly immersed. As a COD fan, that would probably be COD 4 Remastered or even World War II, and that's going on almost 10 years. I mean,
you can be with Black Ops 7 as well. It's just a different vibe. And if you don't like that futuristic vibe, like I was fully immersed in Black Ops 3, like the specialist stories, like everything like that. But
how can you get immersed when all you see is a bunch of goofy skins running around like Sonic on steroids? That's why Battlefield 6 is a breath of fresh air. You get exactly what you paid for. And for a AAA game, that's becoming more and more of a rarity. You get military-based soldiers only, which you also are able to customize based on each class. Many of these skins you earn even by playing campaign missions, which is a lot better than locking them behind a paywall. I mean, I use skins I earned from buying the Phantom Edition, as well as default skins. They all look appealing to me because they all stick to the military theme of the game, which contributes to how immersed you are into the game. But Battlefield 6's immersion doesn't stop at its theme. How about the
This is true.
Every player who plays any game
true.
wants to feel like they're in the game. Who wouldn't? Well,
this is something that Call of Duty needs to improve. The way the atmosphere is done in both Arc Raiders and Battlefield is incredible. Incredible. Like 100%. So it's the personal opinion, right? He really likes the military theme. Yeah, he definitely likes the military theme. But seriously, the immersion of those two games are really, really good. And Call of Duty doesn't do that very well. It never really has. It's always been a very arcadey game. I think it would be very, like, World War II is not a bad pick for that, but it'd be very hard to nail down a game that would give you the same kind of absolute cinema vibes that either Arc Raiders or Battlefield does. It's very true. Maybe Modern Warfare, actually Modern Warfare 2019 would be the last one. And that's because they had a very clear vision of what they wanted to do with that game. And some of the gameplay elements sucked because of it.
Well, that's how Battlefield 6 makes you feel, like you're in the war.
Well, no, that's
Holy cinema. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There's so many over here. Yeah, motherfucker.
Damn it! I thought we were winning this. What are we even doing actually?
Good question. Oh my gosh, they're bringing the whole fucking building down. Yeah, fucking blow shit up. We need an engineer, motherfucker. Oh shit. Yeah.
I think he's actually giving pretty bad examples of the immersion, but this is good.
Holy.
Like you walk into a room, the side of it blows off, you're now in a different engagement than before.
What the sh?
Now I know why. Oh shit!
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, get. Oh.
Well, that ended.
Yeah. Between the amazing sound design to the beautiful graphics to the sheer chaos, it's easy to see why this game has everyone captivated during the modern era of live service gaming. Coming from Call of Duty, it feels very refreshing to be immersed again, especially talking about multiplayer. For example, take Red Dead Redemption 2. Sure,
Interesting
it's easier to feel
comparison.
immersed in a single-player story-based game, but the atmosphere is what made the game come alive, and that's what immersion is all about. Helldivers 2 is another good example, but live service. Again, the atmosphere is what's key here. The chaotic action, the terror of fighting the enemy factions, and the eerie setting is what makes the game come alive. And honestly, it's becoming
not
more and
wrong
more of a
here.
rarity to
No,
truly
he's
feel
not
immersed
wrong
playing
here.
a live service shooter game, especially considering how trash the first-person shooter
Like you're saying this is an L take, but he's not wrong. Like the way that they have designed their games is to have a gameplay loop that makes you feel immersed in that world. Helldivers 2 is a good example of that. Red Dead is a bit of a stretch because he's right, because it's a single player game, but I see why he brought it up. And then Call of Duty, what it does wrong is it makes you feel like the thing you're immersed in is these like flashy lights, buy all these microtransactions, free to play style game. It's true. And yeah, I think with season 1, Battlefield started to lean a little bit more in that direction. Like you log in, buy the battle pass, like everyone's used to.
it has been. So Battlefield 6 could not have come at a better time. Speaking of, can we talk about how fun this game is at its core? I know, fun? We haven't heard that word in years as FPS fans. It's pretty depressing. But man, the biggest thing I love about this game is simply the absolute chaos that is going on at all times. From LMGs to tanks to fighter jets, there are endless ways a player can wreak havoc. Yeah, we're gonna try that jet, motherfucker. Yeah. Woo.
Go
I'm not
up,
getting off
go
the
up.
ground. Yeah, motherfucker. Stop. Yeah, run.
Like, we can destroy all
Holy
this. That's so nice.
What
This
is
is actually
what
awesome.
gameplay is he showing?
This guy. He's trying to
You
hide.
still in here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
There he is. Yeah. He got destroyed. Tell me not. There are times where you can just sit back for a moment and take it all in and say, man, this game is pure cinema.
It is.
You know what my motto is for this game? Blow shit up. I genuinely have fun playing as engineer just so I can use the launcher to blow buildings up. Yeah, that's how bad it's been in Call of Duty. What do you want me to say? While we're on the topic of engineer, I also enjoy the
The Battlefield glaze in this one is a little wild.
playstyle variety on Battlefield 6. You want to blow shit up? Be an engineer and use that launcher like you're aiming at the Black Ops 7 cover. If you want to play aggressive, which I'm sure most COD players are comfortable with coming over to this game, play as Assault. The ARs are fun, but I
never play as
especially
Assault.
love running a shotgun or a grenade launcher. They're insanely satisfying to use. This is the classic run and gun class, so if you like rushing around like a maniac, this is all you. Recon is fun to use for players who play at a slower pace. They'd much rather sit back a bit and pick the enemies off with a sniper. It's a great change of pace after using the assault class, and getting sniper kills is especially satisfying considering it pretty much takes a headshot from a distance. And last but not least, we have support. These players are the medics, the ultimate team
So like snipers in most games?
players. You know what they say, it's always where is the medic and never how is the medic. Unless he ignores you as you're dying right next to him, then he's an absolute piece of shit. Can you pick me up? I'm fucking right here, dude. What the f is this guy doing?
He's not a medic. He's not a medic, dude.
Thanks a lot.
The medic is the little paddle icon, isn't it?
Full. Go. But yeah, man, I can honestly say
I mean, he
spent
still
hours
should have
playing this game
revived you,
solo
but-
and with friends, and the gameplay loop felt addicting.
I know
haven't
a
had this
squad
kind of
member can
experience on a
revive, but
first-person
he's not a
shooter
medic.
Since Black Ops 2, and I am not exaggerating when I say that. So while some players may have minor issues with this game, I can't say I have room to complain. Plus, as we already went over, the developers have been very responsive to feedback, which has drawn overall positive reactions from the players. But when it comes to the addictive gameplay loop, I think it speaks to the game's progression. Sure, there's your fundamental progression, such as levels, and weapon camos.
This
but you know
is where
what's
I'm
the
gonna
most
hard
fulfilling
disagree.
level of progression? Simply getting better. Coming from Call of Duty, it not only feels good to play something different, it feels
So the only game mode for me right now, the only time I have that feeling of, wait, I need to play one more, is when I have a very close victory, like a very close one or a very close loss. I think that is one thing that Battlefield lacks, is like, let's just play one more game, just one more. Whereas right now, I think Arc Raiders, for example, that's the game that's like keeping me addicted. It's like, oh, well, I need this one more thing. Like, let's just go into one more raid, just one more. And Call of Duty's games are so bite-sized that it's like, oh, I'll just go in and play one more game. Maybe I'll complete this challenge. I don't have that in Battlefield. And maybe that's just me.
good to get better at this game. Now, I'm not saying you can't get better on COD, but let's face it, all you have to do is run around like a psychopath and point and shoot. The developers are designing the garbage maps smaller and smaller.
No,
and most
not this
players wait
game.
for Nuketown and Shipment 24/7
No, that's
anyway,
true, though.
so who cares about map awareness? Spawns are rigged anyway. Well, actually, you can become a movement god and have insane aiming. Listen, COD suckers, shut the Battlefield 6 allows you to improve in more ways, which feels way more gratifying. Again, there's learning how to play on each class and improve on them. You can work on which classes work best for you and your friends to ensure the win. Hell, you could even learn to become a better pilot, such as myself. I don't know how to move forward with... How do you move forward with the planes? Like, this is fucking insane.
I was gonna say,
I'm not good at this either.
I see you on like the, I see the little.
Holy sh... What the f...
Oh shit! There's a fucking jet. Is that it? Oh man, that's cool.
Just, like...
How is he
moving
flying
back-
backwards?
I can't fucking move forward. How the f... do you move forward?
We're driving. We're like driving with a helicopter instead of flying it.
What the f...
All right, so here's the actual thing. I think I've had enough, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is just irrational glazing for the game. Do the comments second that, or no? I've been having so much. Okay, let's look at a non. He pinned all of the comments that are positive. These comments are insane. Like, nobody, maybe he deletes any of them that are calling him out for glazing, because it's wild. Even like to say nothing bad about the game and to not point out any of the facts that, okay, yeah, Call of Duty has sucked for a very, very long time. But in the long run, the competition from various games, whether that be Battlefield, Arc, or anything else, is, yeah, this is the equivalent level of T-Dog for Call. I'm just kidding. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird that, I don't know, the only person that I saw that didn't do this is Blame Truth. I'm pretty sure Blame Truth dumps all over Battlefield as well. I could be wrong. I don't really watch any of his stuff, but it seems like all of those people who dumped on Call of Duty jumped on the boat of glazing Battlefield, when I do believe that there's a bunch of not glaring problems, but issues with Battlefield as a whole, especially if you're a Battlefield veteran. There's a big portion of this game that feels like it's trying to be Call of Duty with like certain maps and certain experiences, which I don't think vibes correctly with them, right? And I think like in the long run, the game that is benefited, actually the people who have benefited the most from Battlefield 6 are Call of Duty fans, because skill-based matchmaking being removed means I'm going to enjoy playing multiplayer again. They seemingly cooked with endgame. Zombies is always zombies. So we have 3 modes that are all playable. So it's still not going to be the same as Battlefield, and Battlefield is always going to be Battlefield, and if that's your cup of tea, it's there, right? But it's the same thing both ways. If you don't like what Battlefield is, go play Call of Duty. And if you don't like what Call of Duty is, then you have Battlefield or you have other games. And like, is it okay that that's just okay? Is it okay to like what you like? Apparently not. Apparently everyone sucks and I hate everyone all the time.